Hey, AfterBuzzers and Siren fans, we are so excited to talk about this episode because we have a very special guest, Chad Rook, who plays Chris, who has a departure this episode, and we can't wait to ask him all about it, so don't go away.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Welcome back, guys. We're waiting for our little Siren song that puts us all in a trance. We are so excited to be back talking about Siren again. This was a juicy episode.
There's so much to talk about in this episode. I don't even know where to begin.
I really don't either. But I guess, we'll have to start with our lovely Chris's departure, which is very upsetting.
I don't actually think he's going to leave, but I want to ask him to double check.
I know. I cannot wait to chat with him about that because we were like, this is a little sketchy. He's just going to leave like that. He's going to get kidnapped. What's going to happen? But hey, guys, before we get into it, I'm your host, Nasta, and I've got the lovely Karla Beltran right next to me.
Hey, guys.
It is such a lovely night, and it's so much fun, and I love that we have a podcast. We have this community to talk about Siren, but also, guys, if you are involved, if you like to be involved in other podcasts and learn and grow.
If you like listening to other podcasts, we have the podcast for you. Conversations with Maria Menounos podcast edition is hosted by our AfterBuzz TV founder and drops every Friday on iTunes. Conversations with Maria Menounos features celebrity and influencer interviews along with secrets and tips on how to be better in all aspects of your life. From health and wellness to career, relationships, finances, and more. Let our Maria be the big sister you've always wanted. Just go to iTunes and subscribe to Conversations with Maria Menounos for free. And be sure to rate and comment. And when you do, let Maria know it was us, Siren, who sent you there. Conversations with Maria Menounos, a podcast edition. Check it out.
Please check it out. And with that being said, I cannot wait to get our lovely guest on the line. I believe we are bringing him in right now.
Yes, and we'll pull up the chat so that if you guys want to ask any questions, I will be tuned into the chat. You guys could let me know what you want me to ask Chad, and we'll ask as much as we can.
We will. Chad, do we have you on the line?
Hey guys, I'm here.
Maybe not yet, but in that case, then let's just get into some of the nitty gritty of this episode, which was pretty crazy. I think I see him. Chad, can you hear us?
I can hear you, yeah.
I think we can see him, guys. I promise we're not crazy. we can hear him?
I can't hear him.
Oh. Yeah, I can't hear him either. Sorry, guys.
Can't hear me.
We seem to be having technical difficulties.
Having some technical difficulties, but we're having
that's us.
So much fun today. So, but we have Chris leaving the town, and me and Karla have some predictions. Chad, can you hear us?
Yes, I can, yeah.
Oh, perfect. We can hear you too.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. So sorry for the delay, but we are so excited to have you on.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Apparently drama follows me off set as well. So.
Oh my gosh.
Well, here we are.
Yeah, here we are. And you're in Canada right now, right?
I am. I'm in Vancouver, yes.
Vancouver.
I feel like Vancouver is where everybody's at right now. Clearly, I'm in the wrong place right now.
Yeah, I think Curtis is up here as well. I know that, but and we film up here, so it's it's the place to be kind of right now. So it's Hollywood North, right? But it's almost busier than Hollywood itself right now. It's pretty crazy up here.
Definitely. And what's pretty crazy is just the whole start to this season and how you were kidnapped. Of course, Chris, not the Chad. But Chris was
Chad, right?
not the Chad. You were kidnapped and kind of thrown into this crazy scenario. What was it like really kind of being in that crazy hospital scene with all of the drama and the blood?
It was sticky. Other than that, it was kind of funny because you shoot the pilot and it's this exciting, on the boat freezing with the guys and stuff, and then the next 3 to 4 weeks, I'm basically have my ass hanging out of a hospital gown, and then not having to do much other than just lying in bed, in a coma. So it was but it was fun. Like when the whole Chris and Donna storyline kind of really started taking off. I mean, working with Sibo, who plays Donna, is just was so much fun, and just hilarity ensued like every day. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you guys had a very hilarious scene in the car.
Yeah, that was going to be my question. How was it shooting? How many times did you have to take that scene? The one in the car where she breaks the stereo.
The odd time in acting, sometimes you just sometimes you'll get suited up with someone who you just kind of just link up with, like the connection is just there. And the scenes with Sibo and I, we never really had too many takes. It just kind of just rolled, and you know, kind of was a fluent thing that just took place, and it happened, and we really didn't do many takes at all. If any, it would be maybe 2 takes, but you know, we just kind of we connected on set, and yeah, and that's what we got.
That's awesome.
It's been so much fun to watch, and we've been obviously huge fans of the show and kind of seeing the trajectory of everybody's character, and we're still figuring out, like, what is going to happen with all of these people. And we see, you know, Chris, he goes away, comes back, and now he's leaving again. So
and it's funny because someone mentioned today is that every episode that Chris is in, he's either got a different hairstyle or a different beard or something like that, and it's kind of funny. I didn't realize that until I watched the show, and they're totally true. But yeah, it's just there's always stuff changing. I mean, and that's what makes the writing so good on this show, is that not only, you know, are things happening, like, but it's not like one of those series where you have to wait, you know, 8 episodes before anything happens. Like, the action started right from day one, and it continues to evolve, and twists and turns kind of happen, and that's what makes, I think, this show, you know, one of a kind right now. So.
That's so true, and I think me and Karla were talking about that before, how most shows, like you just mentioned, you wait so long to even see the sisters get together, you know, and that happened within, I think, 3 episodes.
The 3rd episode, yeah.
And so
the reuniting of Donna and Rin, there's nobody expected it to happen that fast. They thought, you know, maybe that was the plot line for the whole season 1. And when that happened, everyone was kind of confused as to where it could go from there. And here we are. So, and I just love how Siren has so many different storylines going on right now. I mean, you have the whole Helen situation with, you know, is she a mermaid and stuff now? And you know, and then you have Ben and Maddie and stuff like that, and with Rin, and then you have the Chris and Dawn, and then you have the Xander, and then you have, you know, Calvin, who's always having sex somewhere. It's fun.
And we even, I feel like all the storylines opened even further this episode, because we are now wondering, are Rin and Ben gonna fall in love? Are Maddie and Xander previously lovers?
Yeah. Does Chris actually leave? Are you allowed to tell us?
Oh God, I wish I could tell that one. Yeah, I wish I could tell you guys more about that, but I guess only time will tell with the whole Chris thing and what's happening.
We have a couple of questions in the chat for you that we want to ask you. Ivan Soda wants to know if you're supposed to be turned into a merman. That's actually that was one of our predictions. We actually think you might be half merman, or you might have gotten some mermaid DNA inside of you.
I'll tell you guys a fun fact, actually. When I first got the role of Chris, first of all, the audition process was crazy for this, because I actually read for Xander actually for a while, and then they gave me Chris. And when I got Chris, the original script for the pilot was completely different. And I can tell it now because we've aired it. But at the end of the original pilot, the nurse, the crazy nurse that was checking on him, had checked his vitals, and he was healing like very quickly, and so his body was like transforming, and that's what the original pilot was like had in it. And so we, right from the get-go, always thought that that's what the writers had in store for Chris, was that, you know, his body was changing because of the attack. And then they rewrote it, and then created this big arc storyline with Donna and stuff, which, you know, I'm very grateful for. But I've talked to the writers. There are plans. We don't know what's happening. I mean, I'm as shocked as you guys are that season 2 has not been announced yet. I mean, you know, I'm just waiting to pay for my rent, so I'm hoping for that. But as far as Chris goes right now, I really do have to keep my mouth sealed, because they do have plans, and we'll just have to wait and see what's happening with that.
Ooh,
Right.
I like it.
We definitely don't want to get you in trouble, so we'll let that one lie.
And I want my thoughts of Chris becoming a merman to still live, so I don't want you to turn them down.
I'll destroy that for you.
Well, we can tell you our little assumptions of what we think's gonna happen. When we saw Chris leave like that, I thought maybe you would get kidnapped, and then like you'd be on this whole journey. People are thinking you left, and then they'd be searching for you.
Oh my gosh, you said kidnapped. Donna is back on land, and Donna's saying to Chris, and I don't think Chris might have left as fast as we think he did. So.
Right. Well, I think a lot of people kind of put an exclamation mark on tonight's episode when they said, "How does Chris recognize Rin?" And I think I've never met Rin.
Mm-hmm.
Chris has never had an encounter with her, and it was just a weird eyeball thing. That there is a connection there, and how does that exist? So I mean, the writers definitely have plans for something bigger and better than what a normal outcome should be in this kind of situation. So
Totally.
That's so exciting.
My thoughts on that, actually, I was looking at you guys look at each other. I'm thinking maybe it's because they have some sort of the same DNA now, since her sister's the one that scratched you. So my thoughts are that maybe you guys are connected in some way, and you can kind of have that, like, I don't know, they have this, it's not telekinesis, but they have this thing where they look at each other and it's like they know what they're thinking and feeling as mermaids.
Maybe it was just attraction saying, "Hey, how you doing, girl?" Right? Just like eyeballed the hell out of each other.
No. It was a creepy look. Like you looked creeped out by her. So.
No, yeah, this is.
But hey, maybe you were like, we were just like all looking in way too deep as to what the real reason is, and really it was just like.
God, I swear that's a second hobby of mine now, is reading what you guys think, because it is hilarious, some of the storylines you guys think is happening and stuff. But then you get the odd person that's just, I'm like, is this a writer? Like, how do they know this stuff?
Right, where they can kind of guess what's happening.
That's right, yeah.
Have you had any, what's the craziest Twitter assumption that you've had about your character?
I think the biggest thing was the mermaid stuff. Chris turning into a mermaid is the biggest thing, and I think another twist that someone mentioned even today and stuff that made me think would be really cool is what happens if Xander's dad's body washes to shore, and things like that. Like I love hearing what fans think is going to happen and stuff, and cool plot lines that could happen.
Totally. It's so much fun. The show is so great. The writers are awesome on it. But speaking of writing, I read that you do a lot of writing and directing yourself, and you actually wrote a movie that you starred in yourself.
Yeah, I wrote a comedy feature film called The Perfect Pickup, and it's about 4 friends who try to find the perfect way to pick up women. Just failed miserably and stuff, and then we're just in pre-production trying to get distribution right now, and then I'm writing another film right now. It's a horror film called The Asylum, which I'm directing hopefully later this year in northern Canada, about a woman's insane asylum. So yeah, it's pretty fun.
That's so great. And this is all through you have a production company, correct?
Yeah, I run a production company with a friend of mine called Checkmate Films and Perfect Walk Productions. I'm associated with 2 different production companies now, and we just kind of make our own thing when we're in the off season of filming. So yeah, it's fun to just keep your own things going, and if different production companies and stuff aren't going to cast you in certain roles, then write them and make them yourself, right?
Yeah, definitely.
100%. We all need to be a little bit more like Chad, guys.
Yes,
come on.
Yeah, right.
You set 2018 goals right now.
You're in 2019 already with all the things that you're doing.
So ahead of you guys.
Yeah, and you also, you've been in a lot of sci-fi, scary type of horror movies. And I noticed that you've been in a lot of CW shows, which I feel like Siren kind of has that same vein. And we've noticed a lot of we have a live chat going. That's what Karla was mentioning, that when we go on YouTube, everybody can kind of chat their thoughts and feelings. And a lot of them carry over from CW to now. And that you've been on, you've had small roles on The Secret Circle and iZombie, and also The Flash. And
yes. I've been 3 seasons of Supernatural, Secret Circle. The Cult. CW's been very good to me. So
yeah. Well, I just thought that was so funny because I've watched almost every single one of those shows, and I was like, this is so fun.
Yeah, it's been good because my team and I, we always go after characters. The worst nightmare for me as an actor would be to play just a normal guy on a show for years. It would just be boring. And so I always kind of go for those characters, and CW and sci-fi and horror and stuff usually have those, crazy characters that we kind of go for. So I've played a lot of villains. I've played vampires. I've played, super villains, all that kind of stuff. And then, things like Siren, when it comes down to it, it's not just a one-sided character with Chris or with Xander, who I originally auditioned for. So, and the script was amazing. So it just made sense.
Definitely. And that's definitely, like, Chris is kind of that, like, mysterious, curious character, because we still are, like, you have so much more depth to it. So there's no way Chris
I think
is
we
gone.
don't know anything. We don't really know anything about Chris, so we're very curious to know.
Yeah, you guys just keep writing Freeform saying you want Chris back. Okay.
We will. 120%.
Honestly, like, in reality, if this stuff happened, technically Chris is the smartest one, because he's the one that's like, I'm like out of here right now.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is like, and that's how I would be like too if this place was, where I lived. So.
Well, I personally don't think that Chris is leaving. I think Chris is gonna run into Donna. I think
he's not gonna.
He's like, I can't say.
He's not even gonna get on a bus.
I know.
First of all, he's
gonna hear Donna. He's totally gonna hear Donna, the Siren song, and then he's gonna be like, wait a second, I want to know. I want to go to the Siren song.
Well, I think it's kind of obvious. I mean, the way Chris left it is kind of open ended. I mean, it would be kind of weird to have a big arc of a character and then just to have it drop off.
Yeah.
Just like that. I mean, him and Xander are best friends, and you could tell even when, Chris was kidnapped by the military, how Xander was so worried about him. And then, just to kind of have it just Chris is gone and out of the picture. It's it wouldn't make sense really. I mean, just from a normal general standpoint, just to have a big, huge storyline of arc that we've had in season 1 just to end abruptly like that. So it's kind of like Donna just swimming off and me never finding what never coming back or something like that. So
definitely. And I gotta ask, we have heard there's been a lot of training and water training. Did you have to do any of that, or were you?
I got lucky. I wasn't one of the ones who had to jump in the water, but last episode when we were all on the boat at night and stuff like that, that was the absolute cold. And I watched the episode with you guys with Curtis, and he was right. That was the absolute coolest episode I've ever filmed, but at the same time the absolute most miserable and cold episode ever. We were filming it's kind of during winter in Canada,
right.
And they have these massive rain machines going on at like 3-4 in the morning, and it's cold water, and then they put the wind machines on. And so literally your head is hurting, like it's hurting from the cold. And it was just take after take after take. It was a very long, nightmarish episode, but I mean, it looked amazing and it was fun at the same time. So it was a kind of a bittersweet episode to film.
Yeah, and
that's really, as for training, I mean, I grew up in the prairies fishing and stuff like that, but that was it.
So you've already had lifetime training.
Yeah, I'm a pro. Yeah.
You're a professional fisherman. Well, we've done this with every guest that we've had so far, and it's kind of a mermaid this or that. It's really fun and simple, where you just say which one you prefer. So,
okay, sure.
Alrighty, so getting into it, we have a Siren mermaid or a Disney mermaid. Which would you prefer?
Probably a Siren mermaid. They're a little bit more badass. They, they don't have to sing, and I'm petrified of singing. So
they just sing lovely, lovely, relaxing.
Well, the
tunes.
guys apparently don't. Apparently, the Siren is just the Sirenesses and stuff. So, as far as I'm concerned, but yeah.
Well, yeah, because
breaking out into a musical like Disney characters do that. Be a nightmare.
Your worst.
Listen to my voice. Seriously, do you sing this thing up? Yeah, right. Come on.
Well, actually, one of our fans on Twitter last week told us that only men can hear the Siren song. So
oh yeah.
I get it. I get why because I was actually thinking on this episode, I was like, wait, are the men gonna sing to the girls, but the girls can't hear it? So
it's so crazy to me, like where they get these stats from and stuff. I mean, I remember somebody wrote me on Twitter saying, well, at least Siren is getting the facts of mermaids correct. I'm like, how do you know that? Like, I was like, what's going on?
Like, where have I been missing all of this information? Are there history
Everyone's
books?
mermaid professional out there now.
Okay, so next one is ocean or pool?
Ocean. Yeah, like I said, I was raised with everything in nature, you know, camping, fishing, mountains, ocean. So 100% ocean.
You're not scared of sharks or anything?
No, I didn't say that.
No, I'm just kidding. So a lot of people that like pools are because they are petrified of getting into the water.
You know, I went snorkeling one time or scuba diving in Cuba one time, and I thought I was just gonna go in the ocean and see a couple fish, and it was millions of fish, and then I ran into a barracuda, and it was the most intimidating thing I think I've ever done, and it was we don't belong there. That's their world. We don't belong underwater. So the ocean is very intimidating, but if I had to choose one between that and a pool, I would choose pool.
Okay, good answer. Alrighty, and then beach or mountains?
Mountains, 100%.
Do you like to hike and do you like to go hiking?
Hiking, camping, anything in the mountains. That's kind of where I was raised. You know, I'm kind of a hick that way, and just the mountain air. There's nothing better in the world than when you get off the airport in Vancouver and you just smell mountain air. It's amazing.
That is true. It's a very brisk. It's not like Fabrice isn't kidding, you know?
Get off LA and you're like, smog.
Alrighty, next one. Well, you kind of answered this already, but would you rather live inland or seaside?
I think actually, to be honest, I'd probably say inland as long as it's in the mountains and stuff like that. You know, anything that's in nature and stuff like that. I'm not huge on having a beach house right on the ocean side, just because I think the beach can tend to get a little bit boring after a while and stuff like that. And I'm not a huge fan of the heat, to be honest with you. So
fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, that's what Chris.
I like 4 seasons. Yeah.
That's what Chris was doing. You know, he was like, "I'm getting out of anywhere near the water."
Yeah.
Dude, I've had summer way too long. Time for winter.
I was like, "Bye." Alrighty, and last one. Would you be a fisherman or a marine biologist?
Fisherman. Marine biologist is way too educational. I like to put a little bit of like physical effort into things I do and stuff. It's just a little bit more rewarding to me. So I think fisherman is definitely, and it's just so relaxing and fun out there when you're on your own.
Yeah, and obviously we saw in this episode, everybody, the camaraderie is amazing.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, it's very rare to be part of a cast that get along so well offset as we do like on set, because it's literally we're all friends now. Like we all hang out outside of the show. I mean, we do photo shoots together. We do, you know, go to restaurants. We play Monopoly. We do all this kind of stuff. You know, it's really kind of surreal on how it became such a tight knit group, and even with the writers and stuff, everyone is amazing together. And like I've been on shows in the past where it really felt like a job. You know, you're going in and no one really got along. It's you know, and it just kind of trickles down throughout the whole production. And this is the exact opposite of that, and I love being part of it.
Well, we are so thankful for you guys as a cast and having made this amazing product that we get to watch every week and constantly be biting our nails as to what the next answer is going to be that's going to get revealed.
I know, it's crazy, and it's been really kind of crazy to see how the fans have reacted, and it's slowly growing each week and stuff. And you guys are awesome, like I said. I mean, the support we're getting online, everyone's, you know, drawing photos and posting things, and you know. Constantly sharing everything and the live tweeting and stuff, and even like these kind of shows like you guys are doing. I mean, it's so much appreciated, and it helps us out so much, and we just really hope that we can continue the ride with you guys, because you know, there's nothing better than working on a cool show with cool fans, for sure.
100%. And guys, you heard that. Hashtag renew Siren, because why is that not already trending? I'm not sure.
Seriously.
Well, seriously, Chad, thank you so much. Before we let you go, are there any upcoming projects that are going to be hitting soon that you want to talk about?
Actually, yeah, it's been a crazy year for me now. I have there's a show called Colony that I'm on, coming out here soon. I'm in a film that's being released in theaters later this year. It's a horror film called Extremity. And then I head to Austria soon to film a dinosaur movie very soon as well called My Jurassic Place. So it's been kind of crazy. And then I'm directing my own horror film later this year, and we'll see what happens next. It's always been kind of crazy. So. And Siren 2 is coming out, so that's
Well, congratulations on all of that. You deserve it.
not that
And
I'm saying Chris is coming back. I didn't say that. You
No.
didn't hear that from me.
he just said hashtag renew Siren. Get it going, guys. Well, thank you so much, Chad. And just let everybody know where they can follow your journey on social media.
I'm just Chad Rook on everything. I'm not like one of those guys who are like, hey, follow me. My name is Tank74. It's like, yeah, it's just Chad Rook on everything, guys. I really appreciate you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. And next time you're in LA, let us know. We'd love to have you in the studio.
Absolutely, Ali. I definitely will. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate your time.
Thanks.
Of course,
See ya.
thank you. Ciao.
Enjoy the show.
So awesome. I mean,
Everybody from this cast is so sweet.
so sweet.
They're all so nice.
They're so much fun to talk to, and you get a little bit like a fun behind the scene look every time, which is so much fun. Oh man, so much to dive into. I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So you know what I really would love to start with is Helen and Ben's dad. Their relationship.
Okay, I have it's not really I guess it's sort of a prediction, but it's more of like a maybe thought. I think that he is either his mom or his grandma. Like, I feel like there's
Ben's
somehow
mom or grandma?
No, not Ben's. Wait, did you say Helen's
Ben's
dad? I think she's Ben's dad's mom.
Oh, so you think she's older?
I think
I think they're siblings.
No, I don't think there's. Or they could be siblings.
But then again, that kind of negates from what I was saying earlier in the season, my predictions. Because remember, I said that I think that Helen's family was the one that was destroyed by what Ben's dad did.
Yeah, but I don't think it was Ben's dad. I think if anything, it was Ben's grandfather, because the story goes back to the grandfather. You know,
great grandfather.
Well, so if it goes like that far late, I think if anything, because we were trying to think of a reason of why Helen would stay, and I think a child would be a really good reason for Helen to stay. So I don't know. Maybe it could be. I don't really know how different their age range is, but her saying that their family is like because they're actually related in some shape or form.
Which I'm really interested to see how that pans out. It's gonna be crazy. But yeah, I was like literally, how are you related?
Yeah.
I want to know, are you the brother? Are you the cousin? Are you the like who? How is this gonna work out?
Yeah.
Please, guys, let us know in the chat. I want to know what you guys are thinking. But we're short on time this episode, so we got to get through everything.
Oh, Mark Boyer
Yeah.
said, "Is Helen 200 plus years old due to slow aging?"
Okay, so that's what I'm thinking, because this whole trajectory goes back years and years ago, right?
Yeah.
And I had mentioned that I think that's how she knows all this information and has all this knowledge about mermaids, is because she was there. She lived this massacre.
Yeah.
But then also that leads us to, we find out she was actually a mermaid.
Yes.
So
And we don't know what's the lifespan of a mermaid. Like, we don't know. They could be like kind of like vampires, where like.
wait a second. Wasn't one of his fathers married to a mermaid? That's their whole story. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, it could be.
Helen is like the mermaid from that story that they talked about on Founders Day.
I think so.
Oh my gosh. That would be
Yes.
crazy.
That would totally make sense.
That makes so much sense. Okay, I'm going with it, guys. I'm sticking to that. But speaking of other crazy triangles, let's get into the love triangle that's happening. Or maybe it's a square now, because you have Xander, Maddie, Ben, and Rin.
Yes.
So what are you thinking about Rin and Ben's relationship? Do you think now it's more than just friends? Because earlier we were saying it was just like, oh, they're just the three best friends. But now I'm thinking, no,
I think
he's in love with her.
I think for Rin, since she doesn't know better, But actually, you know what? Maybe it could be because she's saying that she's part human, and they do a lot of things that sirens do a lot of things that humans do as far when it comes to the loss of a loved one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure they'll probably do the same thing with, like, when they love somebody. I think she might be in love with him.
I think
and
so too.
Does Ben know about Xander and Maddie?
So this is something that I'm thinking maybe not, because they made a huge point about how Xander and Ben have been best friends for forever.
Mm-hmm.
So how would it be okay for Ben to go date the love of Xander's life? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it even is like a secret relationship. You know, like maybe they snuck around in the beginning, or maybe they started dating before Ben and Maddie even happened. And then Maddie was like, let's just keep this on the DL. I don't know. But that is a story. And I actually wouldn't be surprised if Ben and Rin end up together and Maddie and Xander end up together. Because Xander's going to need someone, and Maddie tends to help people.
There for him.
And so she's going to be there. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. I think that's where, if Ben and Maddie were separated at some point, I think if anything, now they're going to be separated even more.
Yeah.
I think the death of Xander's dad is going to separate Maddie from Ben, and I have I'll save it for predictions.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it all is just so crazy, because if Xander and Maddie do end up together, which would make sense, I think that Ben's going to even do more research and figure out like all of the back end of all the mermaid history, and like he's going to really dive in with Helen and figure out what the situation is, and then he'll figure out how his dad and her are related. So all that stuff is just going to blow up in their faces. But it was really freaking sad, this episode, obviously seeing Ivan and his mom and kind of Ivan struggle with this, losing his father. And I just, it's so heartbreaking, because you know this man that, you know, spent his whole life on the boat working for his family, and he says that to Xander, and basically was living on the boat before, you know, he didn't like have like, it's so sad. He didn't have like a happy way to go.
Yeah, no.
It was terrible.
But he at least he passed a fisherman.
What?
He passed as like a fisherman fishing. Well, I mean, he wasn't fishing.
Oh, you mean the cover up?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, he died on sea.
But that's so sad. That's really. But do you think he's gonna come back? I think he's coming back.
I think he's coming back.
Do you think in the way that Chad just explained about how his body's gonna wash ashore, or do you think he's gonna be a merman?
I think he's gonna come back healed. I don't know how, but I have a feeling that there are other good mermaids like Ren, or not mermaids, but I think there are other good sirens like Ren who might end up helping him.
You know what? Rin mentioned how whenever someone dies in their family, they swim with the body and they bring it to a special place. They could take his body to a special place because Rin feels so bad that she's going to maybe get his dad back for him. Could be a possibility.
That could totally be a
possibility. And then, oh my gosh, I'm having so many revelations. Guys, maybe the fact, okay, so obviously we don't know how old Helen is, but we know she's a mermaid by some form, and she's able to live on land. What if Helen was originally a human turned mermaid? You know what I mean? Because then that would make sense as to how their DNA and like, you know what I mean? And that would make sense as to why she would never want to go back to sea. Mm-hmm. Because she was started a human. Why would you want to leave your friends and family?
But who are her friends and family?
Ben's family are her family.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And so she has to live on land because, and like,
or
that's
maybe
why
or maybe she's the daughter of like the great grandfather.
Something
with
along
the siren.
Because it's a
it's a mix.
Merman,
she's half mermaid, half human.
Man, guys, we just have revealed so many thoughts. I don't even know where to go with this. Okay, cool. Well, that's a lot that we just kind of described. I'm really sorry, guys. I feel like we're going a little fast for anybody's good. But I guess the last thing, I don't know, is there anything else you wanted to talk about? I think we kind of covered it all. I think he's coming back. He's not gone for good. Maddie is supporting Rin, but she does always just like to help people. So
Yeah. What do you think about Xander and Rin? Do you think Xander's gonna do anything to harm Rin?
no,
Okay. Me neither.
I don't think so. Because if anything, he's going to be hurt, but if anything, he's going to want to find out more information, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the truth will come out sooner or later as to how his dad didn't actually die from.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I don't know. Man, guys, there's just so much to break apart, and I can't even really get into it. But we did. So it was good.
Yes.
Well, thank you guys so much, as always, for joining. Before we go, I would like to do some predictions. Karla, let's go.
Yes.
And now,
I feel like I said
your
my prediction.
AfterBuzz TV.
We did say a lot. We did a lot of theories, though. Alrighty.
So my theory / prediction is that either Ben's dad's is Helen's son, and I am still kind of wondering why we don't know. I'm still looking for the backstory of Helen, and I'm still looking for the backstory of how Ben's mom got hurt. So
Right.
I think that she got hurt through a mermaid accident, through a siren accident.
Did we get? Okay, got it.
Yeah, no, I don't think we know yet. If I'm totally wrong, please comment below and let me know. But I think that she has something to do with the sirens, and like the parents know that there's something else out there.
Cool. All right, my predictions. One, I think that Chris is definitely not leaving town. He's not even going to make it out of this state line before someone catching him or kidnapping him or doing something, because obviously he has mermaid DNA in him now. I think that Rin and Ben are going to end up together. I think that Xander and Maddie are going to end up together. Like, that's 100% happening. And then I'm also going to predict that Xander's dad is going to somehow come back to shore.
I just thought about another
Yeah.
prediction. I predict that Xander is actually going to end up shooting Rin, and Ben is going to spend a lot of time while Rin heals with her.
Oh, that's a good one.
So Maddie's going to be taking care of Xander, and Ben is going to be taking care of Rin.
Crazy! Oh, I can't wait to see how this season ends, and I can't believe we only have 2 episodes left.
I know.
But
it went so fast.
It's been so much fun, and I can't wait to see how these juicy details go down. But thank you guys so much for joining us, as always. We love you guys. Make sure to comment, subscribe, and tweet us all of your thoughts and opinions. Karla, where can they find you on social media?
Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. You can find me on Instagram at I am Karla Beltran, or on Twitter at Karla Beltran with an R at the end.
Hey guys, Ali Nasta here. Find me on Twitter at Ali Nasta and on Instagram at Ali Girl. We will see you next week. Bye!
Ciao.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.